Welcome back, everybody.
Welcome back. Hey, everybody.
What I learned during the break, don't touch these flowers. This one specifically will hurt you. Not this one.
Wait. That's weird.
I think it's actually something behind the flower. Like that little twiggy thing.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
It's the thorns. Okay, it's the thorns.
Okay. Oh, hell yeah.
Better than having a slinger pistol in a fight.
Nothing.
Having two.
Get wrecked, Dan.
You
got
immediately proven completely
wrecked.
wrong.
Hey, I have a bunch of guns now.
Lurking at every turn.
Yeah, Dan. Do your pistol math, right?
The worst of it
Actually majored in pistol math.
Did you?
Yeah.
That's cool. I majored in pine needle math.
Minor in drama.
Minor drama. Like that's. Oh god.
It's my safety choice.
Yeah.
It scrambles to attention. Didn't expect the kid so soon.
Can I just say, like, just real quick shout out to shields in games.
Yeah.
Those things have saved me a lot of damage.
You are putting
over the
this one
years.
to work.
Yeah. But like Zelda, man, that shield does not get enough credit. Hyrule.
It comes to work every day.
Yeah. Don't even complain. It's like, damn, dude. If your job was to, like, protect some dumb kid from all of the things that he would get himself into, you'd be pretty pissed off.
Not even that. Multiple generations of dumb kids.
Yeah, like, God.
The Zelda shield, man.
The Hyrule shield has seen some action over the years.
Kid's faster than a slinger with those
So
guns.
wait. I just had a Zelda thought. So, it's established in Skyward Sword that the sword is sentient. Fi or Fi, whatever she's named. Like, the spirit of the sword, she exists. She, like, every other Link she interacted with, like, that picked her up, she never interacted with.
Yeah. She just hated all of them.
It was like, after the first time, she just decided, you know what?
Well, at the end of that game, did she, like, go away or something?
Maybe she does.
I'll fight you, cat.
Cat, go. Stop.
Oh, cat, I'm gonna... Oh.
Go away.
It toughened him up.
Huh. Maybe, yeah. If I was just actually a terrible person. I mean, I assume at some point, like,
Take it real slow.
they made the correct choice of... Get me in there. This at Arsenal, I need it real bad. I need a not ranged weapon.
Slinger Johnson's old outpost is all that's left of him.
Doing a ranged weapon playthrough would be an interesting challenge. Not saying we should do that. Let's not do that.
Okay, good. As long as
someday.
we're all on the same page about what we are absolutely not doing on
Yep.
this playthrough.
You and I are 100% synced up on this.
Yeah, we got this. This is not working. Alright.
Once again, the shield is back to save you.
Yeah, shield is... Shipment. I'm hitting X! What did you want from me? I can do no more.
Oh.
Alright, screw this. I'm out of here. Screw you. Get grenaded.
Don't ever turn your back on a pincushion.
I wasn't planning on it, but thank you for the advice. Wonder... So you've seen the sequel, I guess, about Zelda, right?
Yeah, yeah.
What did you think about the Ocarina of Time combat? And for those guys that haven't seen it, which you should go see it because it's interesting and it's like a half-hour long design talk.
Yeah, absolutely. Watch all the sequelitis videos.
Yeah, they're all very, very interesting.
Yeah, and entertaining as well.
Yeah, very entertaining.
Yeah, he's a funny dude. But actually, like, it was interesting watching that because I had not played Ocarina in quite some time and definitely, like, had not thought back to some of the complaints that he registered with the combat and how much waiting is required by it.
Yeah.
But
Kids ain't fond of two-legged.
I actually, like, I think he makes a really solid argument for it.
Yeah, like, it's definitely fair. I'm trying to think of, like, I remember it wasn't...
Hardly any signs
What?
of Elder Johnson.
Oh god, oh god, oh god. Yeah, I don't remember there being... Well, the thing is that, like, I remember playing the game, like, for the first time when I was young.
Yes.
And
That was my first Zelda game.
He's anxious to
I
get
think that was my first Zelda game too.
Which, like, an amazing introduction
Yeah.
to the series. Like, I still love it. Like, I though I do think that some of the complaints he makes are somewhat valid.
his journey's over, right?
Yeah, but I think that there's
Long shot.
like I don't remember that being a problem because I think that there was still some kind of like tactical aspect to it, right? That waiting puzzle was still a puzzle.
It still is. I wouldn't say it's necessarily the most interesting puzzle, especially with certain enemies where it really is just feeling like, all right, give me an opening. I want to attack you, and where it just
Right.
feels like it creates impatience.
Yeah, I mean the skull tools are kind of like that, but eventually you get the bow where you can just like shoot right through them.
Right, and they're pretty fast with how they turn, but they're like with certain enemies that are just blocking all the time, that you have to wait for the guard to come down to attack.
Zelf and I were just
I don't know, like it's. I still actually enjoy the combat in it as well, but like I can see.
Yeah, I mean I think that my biggest point about those was that
the calamity fade.
like the skull tools feel boring after the like 15th time you've fought one.
Right.
And I think that if you've gone through the same ones over and over again, you can feel boring like that, or it can feel boring. Oh yeah, Zolf screwed up the whole monument.
Aw,
Twist.
Zolf.
Way to put it back together.
Also, this is a part in the game where I was like, really?
Gonna need all
Because it's just so naked of just like, you gotta go get the cores, and you find out the cores, like, but there's one thing that can fix it. The shards. I'm like, alright, let's pump the brakes here for a second.
Hey,
But yeah,
it's a
so,
new MacGuffin.
Zelf
yeah.
cursed
Yeah.
the city. Cursed the Bastion. Cursed me.
but I think that it kind of plays into the whole, we were talking about interest curves earlier, right? That
Ain't
the,
always much to say.
that's good, I like that.
Most of the era never got
The idea that the player needs rests, and I think that for Zelda, the combat is kind of like the lower point on that interest curve for some people.
Yeah, I can see that.
It's farther than the eye can see. But leave it to this gal to point out the amazing view.
Although there are certain fights that are more interesting than others. I guess that's the part that like I do find some agreement with. Like the
Takes a lot of moving
fact that
pieces to make it dependable.
there are certain fights that are kind of frustrating in that the waiting puzzle does just feel like you are kind of having to wait for the enemy, like wait for the enemy to allow you to progress to solve. Like you know how to solve this puzzle already.
Yeah.
Now it's just I'm having to do it again.
That's actually-
and wait and wait and wait. And it's not super interesting of a puzzle. Whereas there are other combat scenarios that are way more interesting that use the combat that they've designed to its strength a little bit better.
Zolf's little episode.
Yeah, there's a lot
Sets off in
of
search of shards.
execution based versus like tactical based.
Yeah.
You'll get lost in that bog.
Because I actually was doing this during Ninja Gaiden,
Which like old
the, like NES,
Okay,
Ninja Gaiden,
original.
which I played on stream, which was a dumb idea, but it actually worked out pretty well for me.
really.
Because I actually got pretty far. I got to like 5.2 or 5.3 or something.
I can't do that when I'm just playing myself.
Yeah, it was shockingly successful for me. But anyway, what ends up happening in that is that they have a lot of the levels have points where they spike up in difficulty. Like here is a hard thing to do, and like you do these things and you take damage, and that the life bar in that game is actually really high. You actually have a ton of life, but so it lets you screw up and get through. But then there's like a platforming challenge that you can't necessarily get through. But when you die, you go back to the beginning of that screen. So in normal games, if that was the case where you died all the time, you'd get really bored. Oh, well, I'm dead. You'd get really bored replaying those same sections a bunch. But the way that Ninja Gaiden does is that it puts in a lot of enemies that require execution-based challenges, and then gives you a meter on which you can perfect it. Whereas if you can get through from point A to point B without taking any damage, that means you've done it more successful than you had last time. So
Right
you're still
on.
improving even when you're doing the same
makes sense.
level of stuff.
And that does feel like a very old school NES kind of challenge to create.
Well, yeah, because it's not very resource intensive. It's
Yeah.
like, just like make one level that is hard and then do it in such a way where it spaces itself out where the player will have to play it a couple of times.
Perfect the path, perfect the
Don't know where he's
Exactly.
gone. Might be gone for good, for all I know.
Ooh,
Okay.
I'm fine. Don't worry about it.
It's somewhere I never.
What's your favorite Zelda game?
Majora's Mask.
Somewhere I never.
Yeah, it's a good choice.
I don't think it's close. It was like the one that did the most interesting stuff mechanically, and also I liked the fact that it was Like, I like the idea of the Zelda mythology in theory. That, you know, it's like the same story retold in different time period. What the oh god, where'd you come from?
Hello.
Hey, what's up?
Then welcome him with open arms.
Excuse me.
Kid pops him good.
But I think Majora's Mask just did, like, I like scheduling problems a lot. I like the characters in Majora's Mask way more than any other Zelda.
No, ma'am. It's a lonesome
I think it was just really, really well done, the way that was all put together, and the time limit was well done, and it was thematically very relevant, and it fit in with the Zelda formula, like, to the T, but the way that they designed it made it work with their sort of scheduling mechanics and the 3-day limit, and it was so good. I could honestly, if you had another 18 hours, we could just sit here and play Majora's Mask, and I could talk your ear off.
I wish.
Yeah.
I wish.
Maybe someday.
Someday. We'll make it happen someday.
What is your
Dan's
favorite?
about to move. I guess I should just go
that's
ahead and say that.
Yeah.
Dan's about to move away for a great job, and like, we're super happy for him. But like, it does mean that we're just having to try to get play a game real quick before he does.
Yeah.
So we decided to play Bastion, and I'm glad we did. This has been fun.
Yeah, we have what is the? Well, because you guys are spinning up EC plays. And
We are
get
splitting
a
up.
bunch
Yeah, we're banking a bunch of content in advance, trying to get stuff recorded and figured out. So it hasn't launched yet. So you guys will be, by the time.
But by definition, when you see this, it will have launched
Yes.
at some point in the past, because I don't actually know what you're going to start with.
We will be dead.
Yeah, well, this will be long. If you are watching this, the Dans are dead.
And Majora's Mask is the best Zelda.
Rip.
That's all I'm trying to say.
Yep.
I'm not even sure Majora's Mask is my favorite, but I do really like it. Like, I like that it has such a relatively downer vibe too.
Oh yeah. Like, it's definitely different thematically.
But it's nice. Like, after so many Zelda games, it's nice having a thematically different feeling game.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, is that, like, it doesn't even necessarily need to be Zelda for me to love that game.
Yeah.
Which is probably defeats the purpose of the
No.
of the question, because all the things I like about it are not necessarily related to Zelda, but like just the fact that they are sorry. My primal fear got the better of me.
It's okay. You're kind of bullet helling right now, so. Nice.
So, yeah, when they go away. So I have grenades. There we go.
Nice. There you go.
But the fact that they just use the the dungeon system so well, like, here's this familiar thing, you know. That's the other thing I should talk about. Because when we did Majora's Mask on stream, me and Brett talked about this, but I should talk about it here as well.
Cool.
Majora's Mask actually owes a lot of its success to Ocarina of Time, because the intro curve to Majora's Mask is terrible. Like, they spend very little time teaching the mechanics of Zelda. They basically just assume that you have played Ocarina of Time, and that, like, there's very little to do with tutorializing, which is great for people who are, you know, like, who are established and play Ocarina of Time, but, like, objectively, it's not a great game. When you look at it on its own, like, that game was made out of a challenge to, like, make a Zelda game inside a year,
Which is nuts.
and they took like 18 months or something, but it's still a really short timeline.
Yeah,
which is
even
why
with
there's
all
so
the reused assets and everything
yeah.
else, that's still quite a feat.
yeah, and it ends up just being one of these things where
Years of work in an instant. He sees what's left of Pith, the bull. He sees what's left.
That's really cute for this serious sort of level. I want to plush up that.
yeah. It may have had them at PAX. I don't remember.
I believe it.
Oh god.
He's come undone too. The gods, they're all undone.
I guess I'm dead.
Well, I've watched myself die, but man, that thing is cute.
Yeah, but god, so cute.
What's left?
Undone.
But
yeah, Majora's Mask has a lot to owe Ocarina of Time, just because it has a lot of, like, mechanical reuses and
Right, like Ocarina was the tutorial for it, basically.
Yeah, essentially.
And Majora's Mask introduces a lot of other complex stuff that you got to kind of deal with all at once as well. Just the time mechanic alone, on first impression, is a lot to wrap your head around, and how you can actually interact with it.
Right.
It's sort of discovered, isn't it? Like it's like, at least in terms of with side quests and stuff with the people in the town and stuff like that.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember what the actual intro curve is. Like they have, I think it's done in the first cycle. But I mean, there was a big problem with the first cycle in that not everybody like successfully completed the first cycle, and that was the biggest problem with the game when it came out, was that it was just too complex for people to play. They couldn't get through the tutorial level. They just couldn't figure it out. Also, the tutorial level was like 3 or 4 hours long.
I will say, like, there are certain kind of gameplay moments where just the feel of what the game creates is kind of a moment that sticks with you, that you always remember with great clarity. I can't remember if it's... I think it's just generally like day 3 wandering around the town, because the town is nearly empty, right? Day 3 night. Generally the town is empty, and they're playing this tune. The music they play is really mournful and kind of scary and unsettling and beautiful. But like wandering around the city as Link on those last days, which usually, like, I think is something that that situation I would run into toward the end of the game when we're getting closer to the final battle and everything. Like, just the feel of that is something the Zelda series very rarely creates.
Yeah, they don't do dark too often. They tried with Twilight Princess, but it just didn't work on the same level because it wasn't like the gameplay as a whole. Like the game, like Majora's Mask is a mechanically dark game.
Yes.
In addition to having like thematic narrative bits that are dark.
They say one whiff of lung blossom can make you lose your mind.
Okay, well we got
a kid prunes it down to size somehow.
I'm badass.
And I wonder also, like, it's been a while since I played it, so I may be misremembering, but because Twilight Princess already, its art design and everything about it, it looks much more serious all the time. I wonder if that leaves it somewhere, like, a little less room to go serious and dark in the moments that wants to choose. Whereas, like...
I mean, it tries, right?
Majora, like, is always a little weird and unsettling and off-putting, but there's still kind of a cheeriness and a brightness and a fun, even if it is kind of slightly... like a twistedy weird version of Ocarina, but then when it needs to get more serious and kind of unsettling, it has some room left to go.
I don't know if that's even it, because Twilight Princess did have a lot of that, where they just were like, we're like screwing around on the farm, and Link is gonna wrestle this old man.
Oh, that's right.
And all this other stuff. And I think it was just Majora's Mask had like the constant pressure on you, and it was never afraid to like just say like, yeah, that person's dead. Go find his soul. Explore what it's like to inhabit the shoes of this dead man. And like, the moon is going to crash down and literally kill everybody you've met in this town. Like,
and it has a face.
Yeah, it also has a face, and that face is not fun to look at.
And your transformation sequences just look super painful.
Yeah, like, So, all right, how about we leave this one here?
We should, yeah. Okay, we're going to come back. We're going to do another episode. I don't think we said a single thing about Bastion this entire time.
I don't know, it's fine. I like it. Let's keep talking design. And keep rolling. Just keep on rolling.
Just keep rolling, man.
Yeah.